Has this ever happened to you? Oh no, it's so dark. I wish I could see. Oh my, this tiny bit of a wall that's supposed to be a city. It's so dark around here. I wish I could see. Well, now, with a click of a button, a lot of behind the scenes, you can! A lamppost, toggleable, yay! Pants, yay! And stuff. Yeah, so this is what I've been working. I worked like almost all night on, just trying to reverse engineer something from a few people that I've seen online. I'll pull up the names on in a second. This has been such a confusing mother. Excuse my language, but seriously, what the fuck? But seriously, thank you for pausing. It's been insane. It has been awesome though. This is an incredibly complicated system that is actually really, really simple in its complexity. Dang nabbit, why are my speakers making noise? Alright, so let's see, the first thing that I pulled up before was a vertical piston retractor using a punch card system that I found from Omagane 3 Shah. I am not sure how I'm supposed to pronounce that, but he basically had a system very similar to this that made pistons go up and down, and I've been using that. Since I've seen it, I've been trying to reverse engineer it by copying everything down, figuring out how it works. And I got pretty far, except I kept having some problems getting this to cycle. I was trying to do it with just a lever, so that would go and that would go, and at the same time, and then these two would go on the other swing. But it wouldn't work for me. So I eventually tracked down where Omega he got the idea from, and that was from Kimundi 2, Kimundi 2, who did a what was it, video called "A Revolution for Redstone Circuitry," and this basically shows off how pistons can be used. Almost every single thing that I've seen so far, he has in his video that shows off how you can manipulate redstone circuitry with pistons, and it's been really fun to watch, and it helped me learn how the heck to do this. In fact, he built the punch card array himself. Ouch. In the video, or I didn't build it, but he showed it off an array, a full-on maximum array, maximum just square array even. Um, what was it? Omegane actually invented a even more complicated one that can technically go up to an infinite size because it basically just doubles back on itself. That one is really impressive, and I really applaud him for thinking outside the box and thinking three-dimensionally instead of two-dimensionally, because the idea of a maximum limit with just a square one is the limit on how far pistons can push, which is a two-dimensional shape. But what Omegane, man, it's hard to really understand this, did was basically went this way, came down, came back, came down, came over, came up, came over. Every time you turn, you can do another, 12 freaking blocks with a piston. So if you just keep going and then come around and come back, it's you can basically go an infinite size, which is really cool, which means you could do something incredibly complicated. Unfortunately, I am not going to do something like that because I don't need that for what I'm doing. Alright, now to get down to the science! The science of this. Let me get down in here so I can show some of this off. Yeah, as you can see right here, we have a block, and then we have redstone on top. This powers the blocks, which then power the redstone. If you power a block, if you run redstone current into or onto a block, it will power just the block, and that block will then give a little bit of energy to anything around it. It does not continue from then on, so you can't have an infinite chain of just straight blocks. You can't go like this. See, that's now powered, I think. You can't do this, but you could do this. Wait. Wait, I did something wrong. Yeah. But see, it doesn't work here, but... Oh, that's not working either. Oh, I'm sorry. I'm stupid. The current doesn't go into it, power does. So if I put something like a piston here, that then powers, because this current goes to this, and this will then power any redstone thing after it, or redstone machine. So if I put a dispenser here, it would power the dispenser. I just showed off. Put this here, it powers this. Prove it. A little bit of a show off here, see? Alright, so yeah, first of all, the one thing you will want to do when you start is build an engine. This is an engine. It's a 4-cycle engine, that's what's kind of been dubbed, and I'm just holding with it because it's fun. And basically it uses 4 pistons for it, so it's like an actual mechanical engine in your car. I think the first one was 4 piston engine, but I like 4-cycle. What this does is when this block is here, so this redstone powers this, and a repeater. I have to rescind my statement real quick. That I made before that it will not go through a block. That is slightly untrue with a repeater. Oh, sand will work as long as it's not opaque. See, a repeater will just shoot it right through. Only when it's right next to it. It'll shoot the current right on through. Thus, you can use because of that, you can use a repeater and a piston conjunct with any kind of solid block to essentially make a on-off switch, which is really, really cool. What this then does is when this is powered, which again we're using that same thing where a redstone, the top of redstone torch and or redstone on a block. I'm not exactly sure which one it is right now. But redstone torch touching a block in some special way, and I know this one works because I've proven it, will then turn this into basically a solid block of redstone. So then since there's a powered redstone, which then powers this. While when this is down, or if there's a circuit here, in fact I can just do this. It does that. It should turn itself off in a second. Any day now. There we go. What this then does is it powers this. This powers through here. Power, makes a circuit and does this. Turns this one on. When this moves off, it turns off because it no longer has this. But this one then has the block on it. Powers, blah, 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 blah. The idea is then to take all those, the extra off of that current and then power the lines of pistons out there to move the stuff in a circular fashion. Right here is basically something I took off of Omagane's system that I saw. That's where I saw it. May have been in another one, but this is what I saw it in which it basically has a turn off, automatic turn off. See, what happens is when this goes by, it powers this. Now I have it on delay, so it powers it a little bit more, so this steps over, so it gets out of the way. That way, it doesn't just sit there and continuously power. I could deal with that. In fact, normally it would make more sense to do that, except you have to do a lot more, redstone work. Right here I have an emergency brake, or sorry, the safety. Safety is on, so it stops. Safety is off, so it will that little turn off flag right here, the red wool, never gets tripped. It'll send circuit, but it would stop here. This is just an extension for something. And this is the turn on button. What this does is this pushes this up and it starts it up. While this comes all the way around, as you saw, and it turns it off. Right here I have a emergency stop, so I can just kind of... Excuse me, I said emergency stop. I broke it somehow. I don't know how I broke that, but I did. How did I break it? How did I break that? Whatever. I'll figure it out later. It's before. Rest assured, it did stop it. I think it's interacting with something it's not supposed to. I've been having that problem a lot lately. I guess I could just take it up another level. Blah blah blah. It's not important. I'm not working on that. Whatever. It's supposed to just stop it wherever it is, which it was working. This is just leading everything to where it's supposed to be. You want the corners to turn on in turn, I think. Though I suppose you could do opposite corners and it would work maybe even faster than 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. I suppose if you want 1, 1, 2, 2, 1, 1, 2, 2, it would actually work too. I'm doing this one-to-one cycle because it's safer right now. I have not had the problem I was having before, where blocks were getting shoved out and all of my coding was being torn apart. I was having that was a problem I was having before, and I don't have that no more. All right, now to move on to the inner workings here. After actually, I'm going to hide by my lamppost for a second. Once you go down, I'm going to sleep and turn this back on. Turn the light back onto the world. So what I'm going to show off real quick here is, again, this also thanks to Omagane. I probably was in the other one, probably was in Kumundi's, but I didn't see it in that. I saw it in Omagane's first. This essentially is constant stream, and depending on what is over here is an on or off. These are on, these are off, on, off. It's like those really, really old computers when they first came out, punch card computers. In order to do calculations and things, you would just use punch cards like this, and then it would then calculate out and then give you an output or whatever, based on what you put in, or it would send a series of on and off to a machine, and it would do. Wait, were those pumpkins over there? I think those are pumpkins. Anyway, it would have the machine, do something in sequence. This is essentially the same idea. Are those pumpkins over there? I swear, if those are pumpkins, I'm just going to be going, oh, that's so funny. I see no pumpkins. Okay, moving on. So, yeah. As you can see, when this one comes up, it turns this one on. This one then comes all the way over here through a series of majiggers. Comes under here and powers this one through this block. I'm using going through the block because I don't really know why. It just seems to be working right now. I'm trying to build this in such a way that I can hide it. I want to be able to hide this in a building. Like this would be a wall of a building, and I would have it like extra thick inside or something so that I could do this. Or maybe the wall of a city or something, just at the end. What this would then do is it would come up and down. It would be on and off. It would be cool. It'd be awesome! What I was hoping to do is get around having this, where it's just this one thing. Though, you know what? That's better than nothing. I mean, what I had it was doing, I had it before was something like this. Which, yeah, that's fine, though it was down here. So, in fact, a better representation would be like this. That would be the light post. I didn't like that very much. Taking stuff up to here, this works a lot better. It's about eye level, where you would normally expect a lamp. And how I have it right now is this way. Yes. This is the only way I could figure out how to hide things, is to have it through the wall. I do plan on a system where it would be this level tall, but I would not have to have this block on top. This would be the floor, and this would be wood. But you can't do this though with the wood right now because it doesn't pull. The sticky piston only pulls the one block right here down with it. The reason I have sand on top to block the top of the lightstone is that sand automatically falls when there's nothing under it. Well, given correct conditions and not weird spawn sand caverns. Oh, my neck. So, Yeah, the idea here is I was then going to build a system that would change this block out with the floor block. I'm eventually going to figure that out. That shouldn't be hard because already this whole system practically pulls it all the way down here. So if this was actually the floor right here, I just pull this would then pull under into this, which would be empty. I just pull it off, put on the new block, and then I'd put the I just have the piston here push back up, and it would be flat plane. A lot like how it's doing right now, except yeah, it's very slow as compared to Omegane's. And I think there's a redundancy in there. I'm not sure. Oops. Essentially, what it would look like is like this. You'd just be walking along, and then if somebody turned it on, then it would come up, and it would look really cool. It'd be like, oh yeah! But, yeah, I mean, technically I could do that right now with this sand, and just have a sand ground. I just don't like it. So eventually I'm going to change this out a little bit more, and and using the, basically this system, I'm only using 3 inputs right now. Omegane has used like all of these like 6 inputs, or outputs, I'm sorry, for specific things, you know, to do the same thing, but I kind of somehow cheated. You see, one problem I was having was this block wasn't being pulled, you know, this wasn't getting down to this point. It wasn't put down here. Oh, and you don't need to have this. It can be any solid block, I think I mentioned. So what I did was I just had this last one power the second to last, oops, just a half block, or a block down, which, as well. And I'm denoting a lot of the stuff that I have redstone going through with wool, because it's just really convenient. And that's, yeah, any solid block works, like I've said a couple times now. So by doing this, it allows me to essentially gank the system, and it's technically not good programming. Yes, this is technically programming. You're programming a machine to do specific operations based upon things that are coming in. This is programming in its simplest form, or its original form. Look at that, redstone on it, yay! Oh, it looks so cool. Dum dum dum. I forgot what I was about to say. No, I forgot! Oh yeah, programming. It's technically a bad way of programming it, because what this could do is if I wanted to make this taller, or I wanted to change it a little bit, this could really F up the whole thing. But for this purpose, because I'm not going to make this any taller, I'm not going to make this any more, I will be putting in a, underneath this, I will put in another piston system to change out the, like I said, to change out the, glowstone. But right now, it's not necessary. You know, I don't think that's this is going to cause problems with that. The cool, no, it doesn't cause it. It may cause trouble turning this back around and pulling that back up. Because what that could do, technically, is that could try and power the piston underneath it, and then it would go up twice and be up too high. I'm not entirely sure right now. That's something for the future. Like I said, my little shortcut over here, it can cause problems like that. It's like adding a specific command to a program that says turn on when on, or something, you know. Turn on when this thing is on. If that thing isn't used for something else, then you have to completely write that code over again. Now I'm going to go ahead and come into this explanation here. Right now it's at this level of off, which I put down so I could kind of modify this. Not perfectly, because you can see there's some underneath already. And actually what I could do in order to make this a little bit prettier, yeah, I've got a lot of junk right now, is I was actually going to put signs up so I wouldn't forget a lot of this stuff. I'm going to advance this 1 so it happens a little earlier. Always make sure that you have, once you find out how many blocks, your glass blocks and stuff are working properly, always make sure you have that. Alright, I'm going to go ahead and advance this a little bit, so... And I'm walking way over here, because why not? This gives an immediate while the other one takes a small pause. Ah, that's what the problem is. It's powering that. Did that go all the way to the second? Nope, that's the first one. Discovered my problem. So yeah, if I did take it up one notch, it would work better. It causes so much lag on my computer, which is not very powerful. Alright, you see the stop command came out. So let's come on over here. And yeah, the entirety of the turn on sequence is here. This is upside down though. So this one comes up and comes around the other side first. So it opens the first one, the very first. The bottom, whatever it's called. Also, I want to do an experiment at the same time. Just for later. I'm going to experiment with that. This will then come up first. Then this will then stay on with this block, and then this one will turn on the next one. And then same situation here, turn on the third one. As you can see, this is the turn off next pulse flag. So once it pulses down and comes up here, this is the off time. Everything is off here. Now to go up on the top to show off the next part of the sequence, what I do is I have the very top one turns off, so it retracts, which will pull the glowstone down one level. But yeah, I've been moving this around so much. You can see I used to have it here. I used to have it like right next to it, then it was here, then it was here, now it's over here. This is actually the original. So yeah. Oh yeah, it's down. So this is a really long explanation about something that you probably all understand already faster than I have. Alright. So like I said, the first command retracts this. Then the second one will retracts this one, so that pulls down. Then the second one will retract this one, which then pulls this one down. Then I have that tiny bit of problem with that this solves, which then will extend this one, which is now down, down here, and the glowstone is right there, and it will extend to this, and then pull the glowstone down. And then that's the end of it. At one, I forget when, but I pull this down, and it essentially sequences back and forth in order to finish the entirety of the machine. In fact, how about if I can, I'm going to replace this with glass so I can show this off a little easier. Yeah, see, there we go. Come on, there we go. There. Now you can see exactly what's going on, and just to make it pretty. No one can get into the machine! Let's see. So, as you can see, these are all up, so everything is extended. See, it pulls down, it pulls that one down, pushes that up, pulls that down. Technically does it again. And I think I have some odd spacing, which is why it takes so long. That really quick click there, I'm a little worried about, because one of the reasons why I have glass everywhere in this machine is because I couldn't get, I have a feeling that some of the blocks were powering the blocks they weren't supposed to. Alright, need to be on day at time so I can show off the machines again. Show off the code again. This is so long! Yeah, so like I said, right here and off. The off for the top piston, or the top piston's place. I should say places because it's not the pistons themselves that these are being powered, it's the place that they're powered. That's why, so, I can't just go top one, middle one, bottom one, top, middle, bottom, because they don't stay in those positions. Except for the bottom one, really. So I keep the bottom one on, so right there we showed off that the first one, or the top one, top place is off. So the top one retracts and pulls the glowstone down one block. Then we have the middle one retract here, and that then pulls down the top the top piston pulls down. It's pulled down. Pistons cannot be pulled when they're extended. Thus, why I had to retract the whatever it's called. What is it called? The piston first. Also, as you can see, sticky pistons, when they're moved by something else, they do not pull the whatever they are stuck to, whatever's stuck to their piston. So then that's pulled down. This is still extended. Here we extend this one and then pull it down to pull the glowstone down to almost the bottom. Then we retract the bottom one. Then we extend this one and retract it, and then that actually pulls the top piston down to this one's level technically. What Omagane uses, he used this one right here, this line to then deal with this middle phase instead of do that cheat that I did, which with the cheat, which technically is activating, I think is activating both the middle piston and the top piston at this point because they're right in the same place. This is how that cheat is dangerous. It might not be because I'm using the block. If I was using just a straight redstone directly to it, not leading that redstone through that block right here, then it would activate both, and it could be random what I get. Generally, it'll be what I don't want because that's just my luck. And then that pulls after that, it turns, there's more there's more clear glass, which then goes, okay, turn off again, and then it pulls all the way down. This was an extended way of talking. Also, these delays, there's actually a 1 delay in everything here. And in fact, I think I forgot to turn one on when I moved it to 1 delay, which would explain a couple. Does this not have it? This does not have its extra delay, which is a problem. That is why I might be. It's probably gonna break it. 1 delay. Actually, that's like a second tick. That is so that sometimes when these pistons work at their fastest, they will extend too quickly. So like this one, with a delay, it turns on. Then the next one will still have a delay when it's turned on. So there's time in between it. I kind of stumbled upon this by just needing to extend the redstone signal because it ran out of juice up until then. Up there. And then of course this right here is just to keep the signals separate. You can, if you want, just undo all this and just make it longer if you want to use that kind of inside. But yeah, this one's necessary actually, because this leads to this one, and this does not only pushes signal out that way. That's how repeaters work. And this is right here to go that way. If I didn't have this here, then this would attach to whatever it is. Everything, or I could do it that way actually. As you can see, a lot of my don't I have any dirt left? Yes, I do. I have like no dirt left. Oh no! Pick up this dirt. I need to put it there. There we go. There. Same work. Works just the same now. See, this one's not connected, so this doesn't power that. And vice versa. It's the same as everything else I have now, basically. Though I did have to go down lower, because everything else went up, while these go down. And this one doesn't go down. Up. Anyway! These are just to keep it at... Did I? No, that's just what it looks like from the top. These are just to keep the signal straight. Also causes a bit of a delay. I could probably figure out how to make it work differently. Like, for one, what I could do is I could actually have, like, some of these blocks higher. Like, I could actually, like, do this. and then have like a signal up there, like. Just a minute while I fix my mistake. Could do something like this, and then that would resolve this. I would just have to modify everything a little bit, but that also makes this a little bit more difficult to think out, and it's already really hard to kind of think properly as to how everything is working. Actually, I could do this. Say it compacted a little bit more, and just for the fun of it, I could put one over here, and they stay all on. There. That way it looks pretty. Technically, what I could do is just put one on every single spot. I don't want to. Yes, sir. A lot of this has been trial and error, just trying to get the signals working correctly. And, yeah, I've been trying very hard to think of this stuff out forward. I did a lot of reverse engineering, and it was a little confusing, I will say that. A lot of this stuff is just on the spur of the moment stuff I've built. Eventually this is going to be awesome pants McGee. I'm really hoping that Amagane might do a actual full-on tutorial on his version of the punch card system and everything. Yes, it is just about what Kumandi did, but Kumandi's isn't, though it shows you all the pieces and parts, it doesn't show you a step-by-step building guide, which is something I would really, really love to see. I'd like to see how Redstone machinery works, whether it's more complicated than I can deal with or whatever. And that's kind of why I was showing this off, not only so I can cement it in my own mind, but anyone who wants to know about this now knows about it, really. And I'm actually going to fix this real quick, because I feel like it. No! I really should stop just talking and start actually doing something here. Alright, now don't I have buttons still open? No, I have levers. Why do I have levers? I haven't used levers for a while now. Lever. Alright, now this should... Emergency stop. I was using that as a way to get more easily around all this stuff. See, it stopped it in the whatever cycle it was in. Whatever point in the cycle. Which means, like, everything is, like, half on or half off, usually. Okay. Oh, I can't get back over here. That's the one problem with this. A lot of this stuff, when I eventually implement it, and where I want to implement it, a lot of this will be underground or behind stuff. A lot of this stuff, I can do it different ways. Like this, I could actually just come out straight like this, so it would be behind the wall, or I could go down. I could start going down ahead of time, all sorts of things. Anything, really. I really, really should turn this all the way on, though, because I need to... Let's go ahead and put a button right here. Because that breaks the whole thing. No, it doesn't. I need to make sure my little modification I did up there didn't break the whole thing. La 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 la. It is on all the way. One more time to make sure everything's working good. Because when I introduced that repeater, I'm worried that it may have like caused a flip out. There. Yeah, everything's working fine. The reason why it takes so long is I have extra space in between each signal, so like you can see here, there's an entirety of space nothing here. What I should be able to do is put a wool block there and then move this one down one. But the signals, something was going weird, so it wasn't working. Anyway, that's this. I really hope you enjoyed this. This has been a rather both a nightmare and a pleasure to work on, just because of its insanity and how awesome it is to have this kind of stuff turn on and off, and just by push a button. Imagine all this underground. Basically everything underground, you just have a toggleable light switch. Or lamppost. It's just like, okay, in the city, walking around, oh, it's getting dark. Someone pushes the button, and all of a sudden, all the lampposts come up. Ta-da! You can see! I really like this idea, and it's really not that weird or hard to have this stuff behind a wall. I mean, like I've shown here. This is all behind a wall now. There's absolutely nothing, there's this system actually has nothing showing what I have built right now, which is really amazing, because usually I'm not that good at hiding redstone. I mean, I'm good with secret doors with pistons, but that's just because that's the whole... Oh, crap. That's the whole point of secret doors, and not be able to see the door or the mechanisms behind the door. Clean up this right here. Broke that. And see, now I can go ahead and cover everything up. This entire system is now behind a wall, or technically underground. In a world, this is all you would see, is right here. In fact, here, let's block it off. So it really is just like a street corner now, or something. This is the entire world now that I'm not turning this off. The demonstration's over, by the way. You can click this off anytime now if you really don't want to see anything else except for that. And I ran out of wood blocks. Fine, it's going to be an artistic city. There. This is all you'd see. You wouldn't see that. You know? This is it. And there'd be a button or something. You can wire the buttons out however the hell you like. All this stuff can go down instead of up. All sorts of things. Like this right now, here, you see how it's up? Well, technically I could move all this stuff down one level, shove this down. Since it's already going down, I can cut out this stuff and going down. That can just go down faster or something. And then move all this stuff down, and then it's all underground, everything. Or I could rotate it around so it's going to be behind this building. You can do quite a lot of things. It just has to be about the same. You just have to have the same output from all of this stuff. And yeah, so turn. I missed the button twice. There we go. Of course, you have a better machine or on like simpler graphics settings, then this is less trouble. And in a server, it wouldn't be nearly as bad as a few of the systems that are currently out for this kind of thing, which have a constant redstone cycle or are using a redstone clock. See, this is all you see. It's all you see. Or it's one lower and it's part of the floor, you know? I think it's awesome. Alright, with that, I'm going to go ahead and quit for now. Thank you for watching. I hope this helps a little bit. I can try to answer any questions about this. Like I said, a lot of this is reverse engineered from what I saw from Omagane and Kimundis. Their links to their channels and the videos are in the description. Yeah, it's just, yes. Lots of awesome. Lots of awesome. Go check them out. They both did some freaking cool stuff. Anyway, that's it. I hope you enjoy, and see you later. Going to bed now.